Hello, Mary Meet. So, I wanted to discuss Mabon. Mabon, I'm not completely sure how it is to be pronounced in English. It's the second harvest festival, and there's basically it going on now. It begins on the 20. It's generally from the 21st to the 24th of September. And I wanted to discuss a little bit why pagans celebrate this. It is one of the 8 Sabbats, and it's also one more thing about this Day of Power that I want to discuss. So I'll take the one thing that doesn't really have anything to do with why we celebrate it and discuss that first. It's something that annoys me a little bit because I'm a part of several pagan forums and Facebook groups and so on. And basically around now, and I've been going on for a month or so, there is a lot of discussions of Halloween. I do get that for many people Halloween is a much bigger holiday because it is Halloween is one of the most important of the Days of Power. Many consider it to be the witch's New Year. I don't. For me, Jule is much more of a New Year thing because it's when we celebrate the birth of the god. But, be that as it may, many consider it to be the most important one of the Sabbats. So, I get that people are looking forward to it, but people seem to forget Mabon. And that sort of annoys me because it's also a very important celebration. So, that's just my little pet peeve there. When preparing for Halloween, don't forget about Mabon. Because all of the 8 Sabbats are important. And it's not like we go from Lugnasa straight to Halloween. We have Mabon in the middle. So, yeah. But let's get on discussing this Day of Power, because that's much more exciting than listening to me and my pet peeves. So, generally speaking, Mabon is very often called the second harvest. We have 3 harvests. Lammas or Lugnasa is the first one. Mabon is the second one. And then Samhain or Halloween is the third one. It's the 3 autumn celebrations. And generally speaking, they coincide with nature in that the first harvest, Lugnasa, we celebrate the beginning of autumn, the beginning of the god's waning power. At this point, at Lugnasa, the god is past his prime. You can see the god at midsummer. You can see him in his prime as 30, 40-year-old man at the peak of his power. At Lugnasa, he would be a 50, 60-year-old man, still strong, still powerful. The sun is still powerful in the sky, but he's waning. And we also celebrate the beginning of, basically at this point, fruits will begin to ripen and so on. However, at the second harvest, the corn begin to ripen. In Norwegian, we also celebrate this, and it was a celebration that was called Slotten, and Slotten means basically taking in the corn. That's, I guess, is the direct translation. slot. Slå means basically cut or beat. So you beat the corn. That's what it's the harvest festival. And then of course Halloween then celebrates the death of the god. And also the final harvest, where we get the last of nature's fruits before winter. But let's focus on Mabon. So if we begin to look at it from the point of view of what nature is like here and what we're celebrating. In most societies, this has had a celebration around this time because it celebrates a time when corn and such things can be harvested. And as such, often there are some sort of ritual to thank the earth, gods, or whatever one believe in, for the harvest. In many nations, there have been basically that, for example, in Norway, school children was often allowed to have a week off from school at this point, where they were going to help their parents get the corn and other harvests in. And also, at this point, we are in full autumn. We are right smack, basically in the middle of autumn. If we go back to Lugnasa, that's still summer. It's summer waning, but it's celebrated in August, so there's still summer. It's just that summer is waning. However, at Mabon, we are celebrating that now there's autumn. Autumn has come completely, so it's basically the autumn celebration. Now, from a neo-pagan point of view, what we are celebrating is two things. First of all, this is one of the equinoxes, meaning that day and night are of equal length. Midsummer celebrates the longest day of the year, and then of course night becomes longer and longer and longer. Now we are at the equal point where day and night are of equal length. So basically the forces of day and night, good, evil, the masculine and the feminine, are completely balanced at Mabon. And as such, rituals for balance are important. It's also a day for protection rituals, because from this point on, night and darkness overcomes the power of light. We are going into the dark season and leaving light behind, which can also be symbolic of leaving life and descending into the underworld of death. So it's also a great day for protection rituals. And you also have to remember that from days of old, this was a very scary time, because winter were not something that to be taken lightly. There was a great chance that at winter time, you or somebody you knew would die. People froze to death, people didn't have enough food, and so on and so forth. So basically rituals to try to get protection from the coming months of darkness were extremely important. We are also, if you look at the story of the goddess and the god, we are looking at a time when the god is an old man. We often say the triple goddess, but really the god also changes. And at Mabon, he is an old wise man. If you look at the wizened king, that's the state that the god is in at Mabon. If you look at, for example, Odin, the white-haired, still powerful, but the old man who is wise with years, that's the god. He is, well, Odin is a warrior king anyway, but you can look at it like the king that his sons are probably out fighting instead, but he's the wizened old man. We are also celebrating the gods preparing to sacrifice himself to bring new life to the earth. As such, you can say that Mabon is the equivalent of the English words. The day after Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, in Easter, basically the day in Christian Easter celebration, the day when Jesus knows that he will be arrested, tortured, and executed, and he's preparing for that. Mabon is the equivalent of that. The god knows he will be sacrificed. He knows that he has to be sacrificed so that the earth can be renewed. But, of course, like anybody else, goes through the doubts and fears of the coming sacrifice. And we honor the god in that. So, while Mabon is not a celebration of death per se, it is a celebration of the willingness to sacrifice. And it is also a celebration of the wisdom of the old. And of course, it's a celebration of thankfulness for the bounty of the earth. So, I think it's a day that's very important not to forget. And of course, you shouldn't forget the goddess in all of this. And the goddess's place at Mabon is that she is the queen that knows that her king will go out to face his last battle. She's the priestess who knows that her consort will have to be sacrificed at her hand. She has very much at Mabon gone into her persona as the crone. And basically this is also a time to celebrate her courage. And also to celebrate that the goddess now is resting. She has given birth to the bounty of the earth. And now she has to rest until she can use the blood of the god to renew the earth. So what sort of rituals is appropriate for Mabon? Well, rituals to honor these things. Honor the god's sacrifice, the duty of the goddess, basically rituals to honor the old and the wisdom of the old, and also rituals to thank the goddess and the god and natures, whatever spirit you would like to honor, for the bounty of the earth. It's also a great time, like I said, for protection rituals, and rituals to prepare for the time of darkness. And this can be symbolic of times in our own lives that look very dark, because there is a dark time ahead. We have winter and the dark months ahead of us. but darkness always turns to light. Winter always eventually becomes spring. And as such, it can be a great time to do rituals to get rid of depression, because one of the things that is at the core of depression is a feeling of that this will never change. It's hopeless, I will always feel like this. But Mabon is a great time to remember that even if there's dark times ahead, it will eventually again turn to light. And it's also a time to remember that even darkness is important. The other side of light is darkness. The other side of life is death. And again, like I said, the other side of the raging, blazing, strong, active masculine are the dark, calm, passive, nurturing feminine. And there can be a lot of peace to be found in darkness. All of these things are appropriate elements of a ritual for Mabon. You could say that Mabon is a silence before the storm. I mean, Halloween, that goes out with a bang. You celebrate the dead. In many nations, like for example the United States, there are masquerades. It's a celebration with a big boom. God go out with a bang. While Mabon is the quiet, silent acknowledgement of the darkness to come. That was just a few words about Mabon. It's still going on, so happy autumn festival to all of you. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Have a great day, and blessed be.